Welcome back, students. Myself Sir Sunil, your chemistry teacher. Good morning to one and all. How are you all? Fine. I hope you all are fine. And nowadays you are enjoying the holidays, okay? And you are good children, you are taking interest in studies also, okay? Okay, students. And we have completed 2 units, okay? 2 units question answers I have already given to you. I hope that you are started the copy work, okay? And start to learn the question answers also. Clear? You complete and keep. When the school starts, your workload will be less, okay? And today we are going to discuss our third chapter, elements, compounds and mixtures. Already we have started, okay? So please take out your book and watch this session carefully. Okay, today we are going to start a new topic, dissolution and evaporation. Clear? We are discussing the separation of components from a mixture, the separation of components from mixtures, and 2 points we have already discussed, and today we are going to start this discussion by the topic dissolution and evaporation. This method is useful when one component of a solid mixture is soluble in a solvent. We know that solvent and solute. Okay. If a component soluble in a solvent, then the dissolution and evaporation method can be choose to separate the components from the mixture. Okay. And other should not be soluble. One should be soluble and other substance should not be soluble. In this case, we can use this method. And we can do one experiment to prove it. Take a solid mixture of salt and sand. We know that if we add salt in water, what will happen? It will dissolve. Definitely it will dissolve. And if we add sand in water, what will happen to it? It does not dissolve. So our condition is okay now for this experiment. For dissolution and evaporation, one component should be soluble. One component should be soluble. Here it is, salt is soluble, and other is not. Sand is not soluble. Okay. Here we are taking a mixture of salt and sand in a beaker or a conical flask. And later what we have to do? Add some water to the mixture and stir it vigorously. Add some water in this mixture and stir it, and warm it from time to time so that all the salt dissolves in the water. And to fasten the process, what we have to do? We have to heat it. Then most part of the salt will be dissolved very fast in water. Later you filter and wash the residue 4 to 5 times with the hot water. And later what to do? Filter and wash the residue 4 to 5 times with the hot water. Evaporate the filtrate to dryness in a china dish. You will obtain a white solid which is nothing but salt. Clear? The residue on the filter paper is sand, and we have to filter it by using the filter paper. While we add this solution in the filter paper, what will happen? The salt solution that will goes down, and that we can collect in a beaker. And on the filter paper, what will be remain? Salt will be remain there. And the water which got, the salt solution which got in the beaker, that should be boiled till the end of the water. We have to boil, we have to evaporate. Clear? Then after evaporation process, we can observe that one white substance will be left out in the beaker. That will be the salt. So now the salt and sand is separated. Sand in the filter paper and salt in the beaker as the powder. Okay. So this is the method called dissolution and evaporation. First dissolve it and evaporate it. Okay, students. Now we are going to discuss the fourth method to separate the components from the mixture. Okay, students. In distillation, a liquid is vaporized first. A liquid should be vaporized first by being boiled, and the vapors are condensed and collected separately. The vapors are condensed and collected separately. If the liquid were mixed with any solids, the solids would not vaporize. If the liquid were mixed with any solids, the solids would not vaporize. Thus, a liquid can be separated from a solid mixed with it. A liquid can be separated from a solid mixed with it. The process is useful for separating a solid liquid mixture, means homogeneous mixture. Example, solution of salt in water, or heterogeneous mixture like sand and water mixture. Distillation is performed with a setup as shown in figure 3.6. Clear? You just observe this diagram, it's very important, okay? Very important diagram. Clear? For the distillation, it will be your holiday homework. Please draw this one in a drawing sheet, don't forget. Clear? Always you have to make a file, okay? Make the important diagrams in a drawing sheet and keep it with you. I will check it when the school starts. Okay, students, this is also one diagram to draw. Okay, homework. So now for the distillation we have to arrange the apparatus like this, okay, like this in the laboratory. And later what to do? If the liquid were mixed with any solids, the solids will not be vaporized. Distillation is performed with a setup as shown in figure. The mixture is boiled in the flask. The mixture is boiled in a flask and emerging vapors are cooled in a Liebig condenser. Here we can see the water, the solution is collected in a round bottom flask, okay, round bottom flask. Okay, and Liebig condenser, which one is the Liebig condenser? This is the Liebig condenser. Once we heat the solution, what will happen to it? It will change as vapor. It will change as vapor, and that vapor will pass through the Liebig condenser, and in the passage, the way itself, this water will change as water, okay, changes water, and that water can be collected here in the receiver. Okay, students. Now Liebig condenser. A Liebig condenser is a long tube provided with a jacket through which water is circulated for cooling the vapors in the tube. We prepare distilled water in the laboratory by this method. Okay, from the salt solution we are getting back the clear liquid by the distillation process. And now we are going to discuss the fractional distillation. Our topic is fractional distillation. Fractional distillation is used for separating liquids which differ in their boiling points. We know that each and every liquid's boiling points are different. Then those liquids can be crude oil. We know that crude oil is a mixture of different types of oils. So how can we separate it? By this method, by using this method, we can separate it from the crude oil, different types of oils, petrol, diesel, kerosene and all. Okay, this fractional distillation is a method used for separating liquids which differ in their boiling points by about 20 degrees Celsius or more. The mixture of liquids is boiled in a flask. First we have to boil the mixture of liquid in a flask, and the vapors are passed through a fractionating column, and allow the vapors to pass through a fractionating column. The vapors of the liquid with a lower boiling point rise, and the vapors of that which has a higher boiling point condense in the bulb-like traps. The higher boiling liquid may also come back to the flask. The lower boiling liquid gets into condenser first and collects in the receiving flask. The lower boiling point liquid that will be changed as vapor first and it will move to upside and will condense and can be collected in a separate beaker. Then after collecting this one lower boiling one liquid, then next liquid will condense, clear, maybe 20 degrees Celsius, next will be 25 degrees Celsius, liquid will be changed as vapor and it will move to upside and can be collected in the beaker, clear. As long as the lower boiling liquid continues to distill, the temperature remains constant. After the lower boiling liquid has distilled off, the higher boiling point liquid begins to distill and the temperature rises. The receiver is immediately changed and higher boiling liquid is collected separately. The separately collected liquids are called fractions. The separately collected from the crude oil or from the mixture of liquid, we can collect the different types of oils in different beakers by the fractional distillation, by allowing the vapors to pass through the fractionating column. Okay students, the separately collected liquid is called fractions. Clear? One more diagram here. Okay students, one more diagram, okay, for the fractional distillation. Go do it. This is also your homework. Okay, homework you have to draw in a drawing sheet. Okay students, important diagrams. These important diagrams can come in half-yearly exams. Okay, so practice in a drawing sheet, don't forget it. It's a diagram to prove the fractional distillation. Okay. By fractional distillation, we can separate alcohol from benzene, clear, alcohol from water, sorry. We can separate alcohol from water and benzene from toluene and the different fractions from the crude oil. Okay. By fractional distillation, we can separate alcohol from water and benzene from toluene and the different fractions from the crude oil. Now next method, using separating funnel. A separating funnel is a glass bulb to the stem of which is fitted a stopcock or a stopper. Okay, a separating funnel. You can see the diagram of a separating funnel here. It is a separating funnel. Okay, observe the diagram. A separating funnel is a glass bulb to the stem of which is fitted a stopcock or a stopper. This apparatus is used to separate two or more immiscible liquids. Immiscible liquids. What is the definition of immiscible liquids? The liquids which do not dissolve in each other, like oil and water. Oil and water, it does not dissolve each other. So this is a good example of immiscible liquid. The liquids which are those which do not dissolve in each other called immiscible liquids. For this we can have one activity here. Take some water in a glass and add small amounts of two colored oils in it. Clear? Stir the liquids well. Allow the mixture to stand for some time. Collect different types of oils in a water. Clear? The oil should be in different color and stir it well, and later allow the mixture to stand for some time. You can observe that three layers are formed there. Oil being lighter than water will form the upper layers and water the lower layer. You can see in the diagram. You see water is down and different types of oils are collected on the top. Okay, so these water and oil are immiscible liquids. A mixture of immersible liquids is placed in a separating funnel. And how to separate it? Now we are mixed. How to separate it? To separate it, what to do? This mixture of immersible liquids is placed in a separating funnel and allowed to stand. The liquids from different layers, clear? The liquids form different layers. The heavier liquid which forms the lower layer is drawn into vessel by carefully opening the stopcock. The stopcock is closed when the upper layer reaches it. The lighter liquid can be collected in the another vessel. Okay, students, here is the diagram. So the mixture of oil and water that we have collected in the separating funnel. Okay, so in separating funnel also we can see that downside there is water. Downside the water is collected. This is water, and these are different types of liquids. So collect the water first. What to do? We have to keep a beaker here down and just open the stopcock. Then what will happen? The water will start to move. Clear? Till this level completed, means full water completed, what to do? You have to close the stopcock. Stop the stopcock. Then remove this beaker from here and keep the new beaker here to collect next the oil. Then now that this brown colored part oil is left out. Once this oil is collected in the second beaker, you have to close the stopcock. Then remove this beaker. Then keep another beaker. Like that we can collect water and other oils in a separate beakers. Okay. It is the use of separating funnel. By this method we can separate the immersible liquids. Okay, students, it's a time to wind up the session. I hope that you understood the portion, and don't forget about the copy work. Start to complete the copy work. Okay, so today I am going to wind up this session. Thank you and have a nice day.